So, Paramount has decided to bail on Bollywood. What does that mean? Well, it means they're pulling out of India just like Disney did. And of course, the story here is an interesting one. They pulled out and sold their stake in what they had in India to Viacom 18, which is Reliance Industries, for $517 million. It's a big story because they had a pretty big investment in India. What's odd is, and we'll get to the story in just a second, but what's odd is that the Disney company just parted ways with their substantial stakes in India for a tiny little fraction of future interest in it. But they essentially, as part of the Fox acquisition, when they spent $71 billion for something that was worth $54 billion, they parted with all their stuff they got there, which was valued previously at well over $12.5 billion. And they are out on it for $3.5 billion. They lost a substantial amount of money. They're going to have to stop doing stuff like that. But you know what? You didn't hear about that story. And you didn't hear about that dichotomy. Instead, you hear about Paramount Global, who's desperate for cash. Now, Tom, they're going to sell the 13% stake. Whoopsie. They're going to sell the
Mikey, let's go buy Ninja Turtles. What?
They're going to sell the 13% stake in the India media company Viacom 18 to Reliance Industries for $517 million. They're done.
They need it.
Wow, they must really need the money.
We can probably get it for a steal, Mikey. They may even throw in Star Trek for free.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
And if you haggle enough, we can maybe get SpongeBob.
I heard rumors that Warner Brothers might actually be buying Star Trek. Have you heard anything about that, Tom?
Actually, I've been hearing a lot of weird stuff. Warner Brothers been hovering around for a while. They may merge. Skydance is really wanting to buy, but they also are interested in just Star Trek alone. So there's a possibility that Star Trek could change hands. Also on the table is Alex fucking Kurtzman. So keep in mind, he could end up owning Star Trek when this is all said and done, because the problem with Star Trek right now is my understanding, really short version, is that he has a stake in Star Trek because of Secret Hideout. Like they actually own a portion of Star Trek now. So he's got to either be bought out or he's going to have to buy them out. Now, the rumor is he's going to jump ship over to Amazon anyway. And he's been hovering around a couple different shows over there, including Stargate. So keep that in mind. So those who are Stargate fans are probably hopeful he'll just buy Star Trek and just keep destroying Star Trek instead. Because I mean, yeah, if he buys Star Trek, it's done. You will lose everybody pretty much. Everybody will reject anything Star Trek whole. Because at that point, they're like, I'm not giving him anything. Exactly.
Mikey's
I think I just killed Mikey. Mike, call 911 if you're in an accident. Hit the little star button. Hit the little star button.
Look, there's also the chance that Byron Allen will get his deal accepted, and they'll take the $30 million.
I have heard that they have been pretty much just ignoring him because his offers are so lowball that they're not even really considering.
But he's willing to take their debt.
Well, so is Paramount, and so is Skydance. See, that's the thing. It's kind of down between, or Warner Brothers. I mean, not Paramount. Yeah, it's kind of down between Warner Brothers and Skydance right now. Yeah. Those are the two big players, and Skydance doesn't have the money, but what they do have is a backup in, what is it, Redbird or something like that? Is that the name of the company? Some other company that's involved there. So that would be like I don't know if that'd be a co-ownership deal or what. Culture, you probably know more about that side of things than I would, but
yeah, Crink, I know it was Shari Redstone. She has controlling voting interest in the company.
Yeah.
And Bob Bakish is not a strong leader. We know, but
he's destroyed the company. We've said this for years. Yeah. See, Paramount had everything you could ever ask for to be able to be a successful company. And right now they should actually be nipping at the heels of Warner Brothers and Disney. Instead, they're barely keeping their head afloat because they don't know how to treat their IPs. Top Gun was their only saving grace in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
They have not had crap I mean, even their successes like Star Trek, they can't even really lie and say they've made any money because they haven't. SpongeBob is one of the only things they kind of have they haven't destroyed yet, and I think that's got one more movie coming out here. But I think the last one got shoved on Paramount Plus for some reason. When I'm like, why is SpongeBob not in theaters? Like, I mean, this is one of the biggest things you have. Ninja Turtles is the same thing. They drove that into the ground quickly. You took what was probably still one of the more popular boys' toys behind Marvel and stuff like that, and you destroyed it. Because you took the fan base that was created with that 2012 series, which I wasn't a fan of it, but I watched a few minutes of it, like 5 episodes, and I'm like, it's for little kids, but it doesn't destroy the lore or the characters, so I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
They actually killed that show while it was still popular, so they could bring on a new show, so they could bring out new toys. That's what it was all about. That's what this new Mutant Mayhem thing is all about, is toy deals with Playmates. They have to fulfill obligations for toys. And once the toys start falling off, instead of coming up with new things or new ways or a new movie or something like that, they come up with a brand new cartoon. And this time they've cornered themselves with the same thing on both television and the movie with Mutant Mayhem. And we all saw how well that did in the box office, kids. And I told you guys, we're getting a sequel and a TV show whether we like it or not. Because that was already happening before the movie came out.
Yeah, whether you want it or not. That's the operative line there. Whether you want this or not, this is what we're getting.
It destroyed everything. And we know how bad Star Trek has gotten. We've been talking about that for years. I mean, they took a very lucrative franchise. Here's the thing. Even at a time when Star Trek wasn't releasing any movies, didn't have any major shows or whatever, they would still bring in $30 million easy just in merchandise a year. Yeah. And that's in a bad year.
Yeah, look, Paramount's in big trouble. That was the whole point. This one we were going to run a little bit short, and I want to jump on the super chats because we have 2 big stories to drop. We still have Gina Carano to talk about, and we still have the Patty Jenkins Star Wars thing to get to, and of course the film that I'm going to review later today. So there's some subjects I wanted to jump into right now. We're going to grab the super chat that came in just a moment ago. Let me grab it, and it's from Twilight Hope, who says, what is BGN? I actually don't know what Belgian. I don't know what that is. Somebody help me out. Alec Kurtzman. God F off.
I think that's Belgian.
Stargate. Is it? I don't know.
Or no, it's Bulgarian Lev. That's what
Bulgarian. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. All right. But yeah, so at Alex Kurtzman, God F off from Stargate.
I know.
How many things are you going to run? You know?
Well, that's what he does. He doesn't know how to do nothing original.
Thank you for that super chat of Bulgarian Lou.